Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you are watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And joining me, as always, is my co-host, Rebellious D. How you doing today, bro?
Pretty good, man. Ready to go?
Hey, I'm ready to go, too. Tonight,
Yes,
we
sir.
are finally back on our Tuesday night reviews, and you know what that means? It is Black Lightning, but
That's right. It's back.
hey, it's not focused on Black Lightning.
Yep.
It's kind of an open door pilot to a spinoff of Black Lightning.
Yes, it is.
About the character Painkiller.
That's
So
right.
that's what tonight's review is going to be about. But before we get into it, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Level.
That's right.
So
That's right.
yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, man. So the last time that we saw Black Lightning was, I want to say, what we're in April now, so I want to say it was March. Was it?
Yeah.
Did we do the last Black Lightning review?
Yeah. I think it was. It wasn't. I don't think it was in April, right?
No.
It
It was in March. I'm about to check right now. So March.
It was like
March 15th. So
wow.
It seems like forever ago, man. And what's crazy is we did the episode and we were expecting the next episode to come out the following week, and we got nothing. The CW, it's like they kind of had put Black Lightning on hold, I guess, so that way that they could draw it out. And from what I'm looking at right now, it looks like there's only going to be 2 more episodes left, and that would bring the season to 9 episodes. So I hope that it's not going to be ending with those last 2 episodes. Hopefully we get a couple, as it's like I feel like that there's still more answers that we need.
Yeah.
But like I said in the beginning, this episode was about Painkiller, and Khalil, he's been on this show since season 1. He wasn't on this season because his character left at the end of season 3 because he still had Painkiller inside of him, and Painkiller was programmed to kill the Pierces. And because we all know that him and Jennifer, they were a thing, he had to leave Jennifer in order to control his demon so that way that he wouldn't kill her. So D, I'll let you start us off with how this episode starts, because it is, like I said, it's a backdoor pilot to a spinoff, what they're trying to aim at. So like, what were your thoughts when you first saw the opening of the episode?
First and foremost, my first thought was not again. It opens up with Anissa and Grace going to dinner, and I just kind of got bad vibes. I don't like them taking up too much of the story, because it seems like they're in no rush almost, knowing that this is the final season. There's only limited time. That's how I just felt about the Grace part of the Anissa and Grace portion of the story, especially in this season, knowing that it's the final one. But we open up with them going to, I guess, what looks like a nightclub for dinner. Some sort of underground looking place. And basically it opens up with someone who appears to be paparazzi, but it's actually kind of like a scam to get Grace by herself and abduct her. So
it was because it's like they were using a camera to traffic people, and when they used the camera, they were able to I guess like read and see how smart people were or something.
Yeah, it was actually a brain reader.
Yeah, like a brain reader, something like that. And they ended up kidnapping Grace because she went to the bathroom. They drugged her, and Anissa, she got up to go look for her, and that's when she sees that Grace is being kidnapped. And of course, Anissa, she starts whooping ass, and before she can get to Grace, she's stopped by Painkiller. And Painkiller is about to kill her and whatnot. He's poisoning her. And then we go inside of Khalil's mind, where Painkiller and Khalil, it's like they're trying to have control of his body. And Khalil's just sitting there meditating and whatnot. And he gets up and he ends up defeating Painkiller like clockwork. Like it was easy at a snap of a finger. Now, and I like how inside of Khalil's head, Khalil, he's the light and Painkiller is the dark. Something else too that I liked is how they have different voices. Painkiller's voice is much darker. Now, I can't remember if on Black Lightning season 3, it was season 3. I can't remember if Painkiller had a different voice. I think that they both just had the same voice, but for this,
I don't remember it changing.
Yeah, for this, they wanted to, make them both different characters, because even when Painkiller is controlling Khalil in the real world, it's Painkiller's voice. And, we've joked about this before on some of our other reviews, how on Supernatural, Dean has the Batman voice, and that's what the Painkiller voice reminds me of. It's darker, it's more brooding and whatnot.
Yep.
So Khalil, he ends up taking over the body again. He saves Anissa, and they pretty much reconnect over, where he's been at. I don't believe we get the name of the city that they're in, but the city, it if I could say, compare it to anything, it kind of reminded me of like Hong Kong or something like that.
Very futuristic looking, especially after we reviewed Kong versus Godzilla.
Exactly. Yep.
And so check out our review on that too if you'd like. But yeah, it was interesting how futuristic it looked, and seeing where the corporation was located. I wish they would have name dropped the locations, but I'm pretty sure they didn't. We didn't get a title card for it or anything.
Yeah, well, we got the title card. It was just called Painkiller.
Not title card, but like location. Same thing.
Yeah,
we didn't get any nothing.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
it's kind of like whenever you watch any other CW show, it'll pop up like in the corner or something.
Yeah, like where they're at.
Yeah, we never really got that. But I mean, the city, like, it looked bright. If I could compare it to anything, like D, he already compared it to Godzilla versus Kong. But if you were watching like a John Wick movie or something, how the cities in that movie are bright and vibrant, like the aesthetics are really bright. So they're in this city. It's futuristic, and the guy who kidnapped Grace, he's talking with someone. Her name is Maya, and he pretty much lets her know that that Grace, I can't remember what her name is for like her beast, her chimera transformations and whatnot.
I'm not sure either.
But he told Maya that that's what she was, and Khalil, he's going off to help and locate where Grace is. Now, at first, he's like, I'm not a superhero, because then this is just like, you need to go find her and whatnot. He's just like, nah, I ain't a part of that superhero stuff. It's just like, I'm out here doing my own thing. Now, what's interesting about this as well, I want to kind of rewind it back, is the club that they were at, the bartender, whose name is Filky, underneath his bar is where Khalil was. So I just find it funny that it's just like Anissa and Grace, they were at that same bar that Khalil was at underground, and he saw everything. Because at first, like when I first saw Khalil, it kind of reminded me that he was in something like the Gambi cave, and he was looking to see what was going on. I thought that like he was like in his house or something, and when he was in his house, he was able to see everything that was going on in the city, because the city, it does look futuristic. You know what I'm saying?
It does.
But yeah, I mean, we find out, like I said, I mentioned Filky. Filky, he runs the bar, and then there's somebody named Donald. Donald is like the medic. This is Team Painkiller. Both of them as well have troubled past and whatnot, and the three of them together, they're a cohesive unit. They all have their traits, just like how me, D, and Trav have. We all have our traits. We all have our abilities and whatnot. But they all work together to, make Khalil a better person, and while also making Khalil a better person, to make themselves better people as well. As the episode progresses, Khalil, he does end up finding Grace. She ends up gaining control back of her body. And she escapes the facility that Khalil goes to. Now, D, I wanted to ask you, like, just seeing Khalil, venturing around the city and whatnot, like, what type of vibes did you get? Because for me, I was getting like Supernatural, Blade, like, somebody just driving around in a car, trying to figure out what's going on, trying to solve the case and whatnot. Like, what type of vibes were you getting?
I think Blade is a really good one. When you asked me that question, I just kind of feel kind of like when you watch the show progress, or this episode in particular, it kind of gave me kind of like John Wick kind of vibes. Yeah, it's very short, to the point. He just kicked a lot of booty, and then
you can say ass.
I'm good with booty. I'm good. I'm gonna stay right here. Yeah, booty-os. But you know what I mean? And then it's kind of, I like the character of Painkiller, even Khalil. I liked his arc, like going from start to where he is now. And I hope that the show does, the spinoff does kind of good, because I'm a big fan of his powers already. I think it's a cool perspective.
Yeah.
And he was just but he was just wrecking house. And then he kind of he flipped the switch on Painkiller, as you know. And then he took out like 20 guys?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah. Now, see, first off, I just wanted to back up.
Yeah, sorry.
It hasn't been picked up for a spinoff. This was like the backdoor pilot, and if the CW wants to pick it up, they can.
I hope so.
But yeah, I agree with you on the whole John Wick thing and him going and kicking ass. I think that it's interesting how you have two people inside one body, and they're both trying to control it, but they both have to work together. It's kind of
reminds me of Todoroki a little bit.
Banner and the Hulk.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that.
It's like you have two people in one body and whatnot.
Yeah.
My only complaints that I really have for real, because it's like, honestly, like I really wasn't sold on it. Like I said in my Batwoman review that is on YouTube as well. I feel like with these shows, there has to be something that makes me want to see more of it. And with this, it didn't have me like wanting to see more. I enjoyed it. I enjoy Khalil because, like I said, he is somebody that's been around since season 1 of Black Lightning. But like there was nothing that made me say, man, I want to tune in next week to see this. Now, for me, what I was hoping for and what would have made me want to keep on tuning in is if we had something where Khalil was not on the run, but he was on an adventure finding himself. And and if it would have shown, him meeting Filky and then him meeting Donald along the way and just building up the team that way, I would have felt more connected, because it's like Khalil is trying to, fight his inner demons with Painkiller already. And then it could show them, helping him on the way instead of now. It's just like, time has gone by. Khalil lives in this new city. He has his team and that's it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I mean, they could go the Batwoman route where, remember on what was it? The Elseworld special, crossover episode that they did with Flash, Supergirl, and Arrow. They introduced Batwoman, and Batwoman had already been around in Gotham City. But then when the Batwoman show starts, it shows like how she became Batwoman and stuff like that. So they could go that route.
Yeah, I just want to butt in right here. The thing with that is, I think if they had more time, I think time is a huge element in the way they chose to present Painkiller. Okay. Because they don't have time. The show's on its last leg, then dealing with some of the characters being switching actors up in the middle of your final season can't be easy.
Yeah.
And if the Painkiller, if it's going to be written and directed by the same person who did Black Lightning, I presume, if they choose to pick it up, you got to think about all that. This guy or girl has a lot of things on their plate, you know? And this was I think it was easier to transition into Painkiller because he had a lot of airtime on the show previously, And so the other two guys, Donald was on it. Wasn't Donald?
Donald was the medic, and Filky was the.
But Phil, I don't know about Filky, but wasn't Donald on one of these seasons?
No, these
completely new.
These are two people that he found on his journey. And they helped him.
I knew Filky wasn't.
Yeah, they helped him in controlling Painkiller.
Yeah.
So
this is what I mean though.
I thought it was cool, the conversation that Khalil and Painkiller had at the end of the episode, where it's just like they do need each other, because if the body dies, then they both die. So it's like they both need each other.
Of course.
I also thought it was cool that they brought Odell back, and we see that Maya, she works for the ASA, and we find out that she's his daughter. So I thought that was a really cool twist to end the episode.
Yep.
Of course, Nissa, she brings up Jennifer before Khalil can ask about her. And she pretty much mentioned, she's like, yeah, she's changed a bit, but she's still the same Jennifer, without revealing that Jennifer's appearance has changed. So that's something interesting too. I know we had talked about that when we did our review after we saw the new Jennifer, was if Khalil sees this new Jennifer, like how can you love and care about somebody if they look different? Now, I mean, that's not to say, because it's like there are things that happen in life where it's just like, you know, somebody might change, like they might change their appearance or something because they have to, or they get surgery and whatnot. And you can still love and care about that person. But it's just like with Jennifer, it's like she's a brand new person. Like she
literally
looks
her molecules rearranged. And
exactly. So
it's a sticky situation. You know how I feel about it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, if this show does get picked up, of course, we are going to review it here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. But I mean, for me, my rating 1 out of 10, I would give it a 7. And the reason why I would give it a 7 was because I love the colors and the aesthetics of the city. I loved that it was a futuristic city that they were in, and I loved all of the fight choreography. The fight choreography was really good in this episode. The only takeaways that I have is, like what I said earlier in the review, I wish that we could have got more backstory. I'm not a fan of the whole team thing that we see on a lot of these CW shows. And pretty much that's it for me. What about you, D? What's your final review for this episode?
I'll give it a 7 point. I'll give it a 7. I'll stay at 7 with you.
Okay.
I feel like it has a lot of room to grow. That's the only reason, that I give it a 7 is because it can do, I think this premise of their idea can do a lot better than what it was. I know it's just kind of like a backdoor pilot, like you mentioned, but I think he's a fun character. Like I said, I love the ability. The choreographics are a big thing with me, especially when you're dealing with a lower budget, like a TV show and stuff. I think that plays a much bigger role.
Yep.
And it was done really well. And I like the battling your demons, I like that storyline kind of fits him very well.
Yep.
And I do like his supporting cast moving forward if they choose to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, that's good, man. Let us know in the comments what you thought about the episode. Like, do you want to see a Painkiller show, or are you good on it? Let us know how you felt about this episode. Like, how do you feel about the possibility of Black Lightning ending soon? Because I'm on Wikipedia right now, and it's just showing 2 more episodes. Originally, when I was on Wikipedia back in March, the only episode that they had up there that was coming up was Painkiller, and now we have 2 more episodes. So hopefully it doesn't end soon, because I feel like that there's so much more that I want to see before this show ends. So let us know in the comments how you felt about everything. Thank you for watching this review. It's good to be back on Tuesdays and reviewing stuff. Make sure that you check out some of our other content that we have. Me and D, we just did a video review for Tiger and Bunny, which is another superhero show, but it's an anime and it's on Netflix. So check that out, and then check out our review, check out the movies for that. And make sure that you check out some of our other reviews coming up. We have one for the new Amazon show, Them, that's coming up. Then we have Invincible and
Falcon and the Winter
Soldier coming out this Friday. And then on Saturday, we have our review for My Hero Academia. And also, too, on Friday, we'll have our interview with voice actor Nazeed Tarsha. So make sure that you check that out as well. Thank you for watching this. D, let them know where they can find you at in social media land.
That's going to be Rebellious _D23 at Instagram.com. Please like, follow, and subscribe. Thanks.
You can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. And you can look me up on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you for watching this review. We'll see you on the next one. Keep that pinky up and stay positive. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.